Here is your host, JR.
Top of the day to you. This is the JR Show. I am your host, JR Flores. You're listening to Kern Radio. Check us out online at kernradio.com. Also streaming live on YouTube. That's right. Head over to YouTube. Search up Kern Radio. Hit the subscription and notification bell. And every day that we go live, you'll come along for the ride with us. We're also on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and X. Just look up Kern Radio. I am also out there. JR Flores, or why not JR? Boy, is it a second Monday of the week. I tell you what, came into work in a good mood. I was like, yeah, it's going to be better than yesterday. There's construction guys aren't flipping me off in front of my house today. They're not trying to fight me in my front yard today. It's going to be a good day. And then I get to work and I'm like, it's a second Monday for sure. It's the second Monday. And rain delays and baseball games. Oh, goodness gracious. But we have a great show for you lined up today. Boy, do we ever. We'll talk a lot of local issues. The Kern High School District had a meeting last night in which they discussed Title IX. That is girls' sports. We'll break down what went down at the meeting. Should you be fired or disciplined at work for your social media posts? More and more people are. Is it a problem that Gen Z has to try to overcome? Cheaper gas prices, possibly on the way for California, maybe, sort of, kind of. We'll break down how that may work and where you might be able to find a little bit of cheaper gas. What else? Trump, should he get a Nobel Peace Prize if this Gaza and Palestinian peace goes through? Some of the Israeli survivors of the hostages and families believe so. We'll break that down as well. Plus your phone calls, text messages, all that. 661-842-5376, 661-842-KERN. And I also have, don't call right now, hang up. But I also, not right now, but during the show at some point, I promise, I will have a pair of tickets to Brunch Fest going on this Saturday out at the Kern County Fairgrounds from 11 to 3 p.m. It is a 21 and over event. Tickets are on sale now. Again, happening this Saturday at the Kern County Fairgrounds from 11 to 3 p.m. I will have a pair of tickets at some point during the broadcast to give away, so stay tuned for that. But we must lead with what seems to be the case that never goes away, but somehow we know very, very, very little about. The Zach Scrivener, former Kern County supervisor case, takes another mysterious turn, I guess you could say. A motion has been filed seeking a mental health diversion for former Supervisor Zach Scrivener. If granted, and it's something we all knew already. Let's just go ahead and act like it's something that we already knew. My boy isn't probably going to spend a day in jail. Not one. Not a single solitary. He didn't even get cuffs put on him that night, I believe. Nice. I mean, I don't understand. Well, I guess I do, depending on who you know. The 51-year-old Mr. Scrivener is charged with multiple felonies, 3 counts of child cruelty, and 2 counts of illegally possessing an assault rifle. There should be more charges, in my opinion. This all stems from way back, over a year, if not longer. If you don't know or familiar with the case, former Kern County supervisor, who was a supervisor at the time of the incident, something happened at his home up in Tehachapi. What exactly went down? We'll probably never know the details. but it involved minors who, from what appears in court documents to be his children, that night at the Scrivener home. Again, we don't know the exact details, but there's alleged that he was in bed. He was on mushrooms. He was in bed with a minor. There's an altercation, this all allegedly, between him and his sons. And then there was the infamous phone call from the district attorney, Cynthia Zimmer, who just so happens to be Mr. Scrivener's aunt. If you're wondering why Mr. Scrivener is getting the special treatment, because, well, hell, there was special treatment done that night when the district attorney, Ms. Zimmer, decided she was going to not call 911, even though there was serious issues taking place in the home that evening. No, we're not going to call 911. I, as the district attorney, will just call the sheriff, Mr. Youngblood himself. The infamous phone call that Ms. Zimmer placed to Sheriff Donnie Youngblood, in which the sheriff dispatched deputies to the residence. Sorry, my phone is going. People apparently, it's always spam calls. Wish that would just stop already. But deputies were dispatched that evening. Mr. Scrivener was not taken into custody, but from what I understand, allegedly, I have to say, because God forbid H.A. Sala come after me. But I heard, allegedly, he was taken to Mary Kay Shell that night. Not even taken in, not placed in cuffs, never booked, nothing. And now it appears Mr. Scrivener will never spend a day in jail. The motion filed by his attorney is scheduled for a hearing October 16th. It is under seal because God forbid Mr. Sala reveal any of that information. And that's the biggest part of this. That's the biggest issue in this case, is the transparency. We've gotten none, zero, zilch. Whether it be from the only person that's actually come out and spoken and washed their hands of it is Kern County Sheriff Donnie Youngblood. He came out that next day and said, I wouldn't be standing here if there wasn't the evidence. I may be paraphrasing there, but I'm sure the sheriff will correct me. And he'll never spend a day in jail. And we'll never know the true facts of what went down that night. And so if this, and it appears that it is, because you remember there was a hearing about a month or so ago in which the attorneys, Mr. Sala, and the state prosecutor, because remember, this isn't being prosecuted by the Kern County District Attorney's Office due to conflict of interest. And so the state prosecutor and the defense attorney, Mr. Sala, met with the judge behind closed doors in the judge's chambers, which we'll never know what was said in there, but to basically work out a plea deal. And then after that closed door meeting, Mr. Sala asked for more time to be able to put together a motion. Well, we've learned now what that motion is. He wants to seek mental health diversion. Mental health, but it says, goes on to say, in cases where mental health diversion is granted, defendants undergo treatment and if they fulfill all court-ordered requirements and stay out of trouble, are able to get their case dismissed. It's unclear what mental health disorder Scrivener has, because apparently he can attend classes while having a mental health disorder, as we learned months later when he decided to enroll in city management classes at Cal State University of Bakersfield, where KGET tracked him down and chased him around with cameras. So apparently he can do that under his mental state, but he can't go to jail for a crime he committed, allegedly. He can't support his kids because he doesn't have a job anymore. But of course, somebody can afford H.A. Sala, who, trust me, is not cheap. Those pinstripes don't come cheap. He can apparently afford classes at Cal State University of Bakersfield. This case we'll just never know. We'll never know. The case against the 51-year-old, with the complaint filed by the state attorney general's office, state that Scrivener took mind-altering substances on the evening of April 23rd, 2024, then got in bed with and sexually penetrated a child, even though he's not being charged anywhere with that. The complaint also says he illegally possessed an AK-47 style rifle and an AR-15, which maybe that's why his aunt didn't want just some random deputies or Tehachapi PD showing at the door and notice, oh crap, there's guns. We could potentially have a bigger problem here. No, let me go ahead and call the sheriff, who I know personally, and send over some of his deputies that can take care of this without there being any incident. Well, couldn't keep that under so tight wraps now, could you? But it appears now very clear and very apparent that Mr. Zach Scrivener will never see the inside of a jail cell. That he has, what's the word I'm looking for? Severely traumatized not only his children, but his ex-wife, his family. And he is going to get off scot-free. And the only thing I can do is pray for the children that were involved, pray for his ex-wife, and heck, even pray for Mr. Scrivener himself. It's a shame. What's gonna be the outcome? I'm upset, and you should be too. The fact that he can get away with this and never see jail, it's just astonishing to me. Claim mental health. Mental health. Even though he's going to classes, even though he's out living his life, what kind of mental health problems does Mr. Scrivener have where he can elude jail time for what the complaint says, taking mushrooms? Well, they didn't say mushrooms. They just said mind-altering drugs, but we've all heard the rumors that it was mushrooms. They get into bed with his daughter and sexually penetrate a child, allegedly, Mr. Sala. There's just a different set of rules for certain people. Got to get to a break. On the other side, we'll talk about The Kern High School District had a meeting last night. Title IX was on the docket. Girls sports. It's gonna be a fight. Plus, where you can possibly find cheaper gas in California in the coming months. Possibly. Should Trump get the Nobel Peace Prize if the Gaza peace talks go through? And should you be fired for your social media posts? All that plus your comments. 661-842-5376. It's the JR Show. It's Kern Radio. We'll be right back.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. Start your day right. First Look with Scott Cox, 6 to 9 a.m.
On the Wednesday edition of the First Look program, we'll talk semi-glutides with our friend Dr. Vip Dev. John Cox will be joining us. We'll have the news quiz. I will kill it. We'll back all of that up with state-of-the-art news, traffic, and weather the way we always do. It's all happening 6 to 9 a.m.
This is delicious. If you guys get a chance to go over to Cal Fruit Depot, this is an orange creamsicle smoothie. Stupid good. It's Wednesday, so that means only one more day to get to the stockyard. That's right. This is 25 F Street. It tastes like Saturday, 6 p.m. You ask, what's the stockyard? Well, it's a little speakeasy right next door to Casey's Steakhouse from the folks that brought you Casey's Steakhouse. 25 F Street. Walk up, you're going to see the carpet, the ropes, ring the doorbell. When they say, what's the password? Tell them, why not JR? You're going to walk into one of the most elegant places in all of Bakersfield, Kern County, and even California. It's like going through a time portal, this little speakeasy. There's a bookcase that leads to the hallway, that leads to the bathrooms. Not to mention, they have a banquet room right next door. You got a party, you got a celebration. You can have it right there at the stockyard. Come join me this weekend. Lottie will be playing some music, acoustic guitar style. It's a great environment for a date or maybe something before a show downtown. It's the Stockyard, 2525 F Street.
I'm here with Dr. Tarkesh from Affordable Dentures and Implants. Doc, people often think dental implants are a one-size-fits-all solution. How is Affordable Dentures and Implants different?
That's a great question. You know, every patient is unique. Choose to create a personalized treatment plan designed just for them.
Wow. And what makes your process stand apart from the other places?
Well, we offer advanced digital dentistry, which let us design and create custom solutions. And with our on-site lab, we can offer same-day teeth for many patients. No waiting for weeks for your new smile.
Same-day teeth? Now that's impressive.
If you're ready to get started on your new smile today, go see Dr. Tarkesh and his amazing team at Affordable Dentures and Implants on the corner of Truxton and Coffee next to Nothing But Cake. Call 831-7230 to schedule your appointment today.
Go ahead and smile.
Millions of fans agree. This Christmas tradition rocks. Trans-Siberian Orchestra. Live in concert, presenting the Ghosts of Christmas Eve, the best of TSO and more. November 25th, Dignity Health Arena. Tickets on sale now at livenation.com and AXS.com. Don't miss this season's most exciting concert experience. Trans-Siberian Orchestra. Live in concert.
Don't miss Megyn Kelly live on stage with special guests Charlie Sheen and Victor Davis Hanson. November 20th at Dignity Health Arena. Get tickets now at MegynKelly.com. Presented by Y-Refi and SiriusXM.
The Charlie Kirk Show. Weekdays at 6 p.m. on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. Now,
It's Tony Braxton's birthday. What was the other one? I couldn't remember. Oh, John Mellencamp. I think it's also his birthday. Get some of that going.
Thank you for reminding me.
I totally forgot too. And I was like, oh, wait a minute. It was Tony Braxton's birthday today. Shout out to Tony Braxton. I think I yelled at her once at an award show I was at back in, oh my goodness, 1999 maybe.
Tell her to breathe.
Yeah, it was in Vegas, and she was getting an award. It was like the American Billboard Awards or something like that. I can't remember. And my dad happened to get us tickets, and so we went. And I just remember, you know how it is when people are giving their acceptance speech, and then you go, "I love you, Tony." That's what I did.
I'm never to go to award.
Yeah, no, don't go to award shows with me. But speaking of going places, Chris and I may be making our return to Las Vegas, Nevada, as we head out this weekend. Hopefully, if all things work out, we will be in attendance at the Raiders-Titans game, the Battle of the Inepts. That's why it was so easy for us to get in, Chris. Nobody wants to go to that game. Nobody wants to go
Look,
to that
man,
game.
I'll watch Cam Ward play, but I'm just looking to talk to Pete again.
I'm just looking to get the free food. Let's just be honest. I just want to show up and see what they're serving. Boy, howdy, they took care of us. 661-842-5376, 661-842-KR. And another reason to go and to subscribe to our YouTube page, Curtain Radio on YouTube, and also the Early Bird Special on YouTube, because we just may, if we end up in Vegas on Sunday, we're going to do some live broadcasting from there. And if you go and subscribe and hit that notification bell, you too will know exactly when we do. 661-842-5376, 661-842-KERN. Do we have anything on the text board, sir?
At the moment, no.
Let's see. I'm going to go back in here into the chats on the YouTube. You too can join us if you just go over to YouTube and search up Curtain Radio. We're right there live right now, and you can jump into the chat with us. Let's see. Somebody asked, did you see the post about Zach Scrivener? Not sure what post they're referring to, but I did see the case is coming up and that he is not going to do any jail time. Somebody else says, money buys protection from the law. If you can afford a good attorney like H.A. Sala, boy, when those pinstripes walk in, everybody just kind of just shakes in their boots because it's H.A. Sala. So he's boy, is he good. He's also defending, I thought, or at least I saw on the news, the 20-year-old that killed the 6-year-old, allegedly. I always have to say allegedly, especially when H.A. is involved. Humberto, because I saw I think it was KGT I was watching, where Mr. Sala was in the courtroom present when the 20-year-old that killed the 6-year-old 2 weeks ago in an alleged DUI crash. So if you can afford it, boy, is it worth every single penny. Mental health, ? He's crazy about doing that kind of stuff. Yes, but I don't think that crazy is the kind that gets you off of whatever repercussions that may come from your actions. There's a lot of crazy people that do crazy crimes. That doesn't mean they shouldn't be held accountable for them. And in this case, apparently that is what's going to happen. I didn't realize I was already. Am I already out of time? Goodness gracious. Ain't no preferential treatment for the working class. How come no one has been charged with him being stabbed? I'm guessing self-defense. Abused? ? What about the kids? Just pray for the whole family. That's what I say. Pray for the whole family. Got to get to the bottom of the hour news. On the other side, we'll talk about that Kern High School district meeting that took place last night, in which Title IX was brought up. That is equality in females sports. We'll tell you what was said. Plus, where to find cheaper gas, hopefully soon in California. I'll tell you about that too. It's the JR Show. It's Kern Radio. We'll be right back. Sorry, Miss Jackson.
SRN News, I'm Greg Clugston in Washington. Israel marked the somber second anniversary of the Hamas terror attack today with a series of commemorations. They honored the dead and prayed for the safe return of hostages still being held at this time. Meanwhile, negotiators met in Egypt for a second day in hopes of reaching a ceasefire and the release of hostages.
National Guard members from Texas are now showing up at an Illinois Reserve Center for Army. It's the latest visible sign from the Trump administration of efforts to deploy troops to the Chicago area despite a lawsuit as well as stiff opposition from Democratic elected officials. As the government shutdown drags on, President Trump says not all federal workers should receive back pay after the government reopens. That's a departure from past shutdowns. Down arrows on Wall Street today. This is SRN News.
From the KERN Newsroom, your live and local news update on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
I'm John Shearer. Reportedly, a motion has been filed seeking a mental health diversion in the case against former county supervisor Zach Scrivener. He faces multiple felony charges. The motion is under seal, so specifics are unavailable. A hearing on the motion is scheduled for next week. Some believe if granted, this could be a way for him to avoid jail time. The California Highway Patrol is reporting the largest group of new officers since December 2009 just graduated from the CHP Academy. To graduate, cadets must endure 26 weeks of rigorous training. Over 600 CHP officers have been sworn in this year as the department continues its statewide push to enhance public safety. I'm John Shearer in the KERN Newsroom with news every half hour or when it breaks on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-743-8080. That's 1-800-743-8080. Or go to SelectQuote.com. 1-800-743-8080. That's 1-800-743-8080. SelectQuote. We shop. You save. Full details on example policies at SelectQuote.com/commercials. The Ralph Bailey Show. Weekdays from 3 till 6 p.m. So the Attorney General's race in Virginia involving this guy, Jay Jones, who 3 years ago texted about the speaker in Virginia, Todd Gilbert, dying and his wife watching their baby die so they can understand grief and maybe change policy. He is going to change the gubernatorial race because the Democrats are not running away from this guy.
On News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
The Armstrong and Getty Show. Weekdays noon to 2 on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. Now,
Hey, 842-537-6661, 842-KER. Anything on the board before I get to the current high school district meeting last night, sir?
I just got one here. It
What's
says, "Hey, JR, can we
Yeah.
say white privilege?"
No.
Nah, this is far beyond that.
No, and no. I can't. It's not about white privilege. It's about who you know. And that's what I will always believe. Always believe. It's not white privilege. It's his aunt is the district attorney who has connections. It has nothing to do with his skin color. And I believe that class has more to do with things than race. Because trust me, I grew up in the hood. I grew up in the South Side. I did. Southside Bakers right at the end of the street. I saw white people, I saw black people, and I saw Hispanics that were very poor and weren't treated well by police or the justice system. Not like this. So no, I don't believe that race plays into it. I believe class plays into those types of things more than anything. So no, there's no white privilege. It's just upper class who you know. And again, if you got the money to afford attorneys as good as H.A. Sala, then you probably have a good chance. And H.A. ain't cheap. Not that I know personally, but I've heard those pinstripe suits don't buy themselves. We'll say that. What else? Anything?
That's all I got.
That is all. Can you see what that's about out there? And then
Yeah.
I have no idea what the heck's going on out there. The Kern High School District had a meeting last night in which Title IX was brought up. About 10 different community members spoke out and urged the board to approve a resolution in support of Title IX. Each person got about 2 minutes. All of them were against transgender students and student athletes. After the end of the hearing, the audience applauded. Lori Cinceneros, a trustee on the Kern County Board of Education, said, "I applaud Bakersfield Christian High School for forfeiting their volleyball game against Ridgeview High School. It's time for Kern County to take a stand on this. It's time to protect the dignity and safety of the girls." Several people brought up concerns about having boys in the girls' locker rooms and bathrooms, as well as and it's written alleged, but there's no alleged, unfairness of transgender student athletes competing in women's sports, which they say could lead to severe injuries and lack of opportunity for the girls. Did I mess up? Okay.
No, it is a guest that we had last week that had a question for you.
Oh, okay. Is she still here? I'll go talk to her. Oh, okay. LJ, Kern County Family Magazine. She just works right across the parking lot. So she could have just texted me, LJ. She has come to the studio.
She's sitting there waiting for you. He was like, "Do you want me just to pass it along to him?" It's like, no.
No, she wants to wait for me. Okay, I'll go out there in the next break. LJ Radon from the Kern County Family Magazine, who was our guest last week, is sitting in the lobby waiting for me. But several people brought up their different concerns. District staff said they haven't been made aware of any incidences like severe injuries involving transgender student athletes, though several parents and guardians have complained about the students to the board over the years. After the comments were finished, board member David Manriquez asked the public not to fabricate facts, as the goal is to encourage the children in the community to be critical thinkers as well. He said, quote, "Make sure that we're not fabricating boys in junior high prancing around in locker rooms." He specifically said junior high for a reason there, because one person in the audience said, "Oh, but they are." To which Mr. Manriquez continued, "Because we don't have locker rooms in junior high." You see what he did there? You see what he did there? He made sure to specifically say junior high. Didn't say the high school, though. Didn't mention the high school where we do have locker rooms and where I'm sure that could take place. Nice job there, Mr. Manriquez. In a previous meeting, board member Derek Tessinger requested the board to consider a resolution to support Title IX. The resolution asserts that biological differences between male and female athletes can create inherent advantages in competitive sports, especially those in categories that are for girls. If somebody listening to the sound of my voice right now can call in and explain to me why it is fair to let a boy play on the girls' team and compete against other girls, I'm willing to hear you out. But I find it just a bit of hypocrisy because it's the same people that will tell you, follow the science. When we're talking about like vaccines and shots and stuff like that, the whole thing for COVID and all these vaccines and they're against RFK. And well, you just got to follow the science. You just got to follow the science. But when it comes to transgenderism, when we follow the science and say, but she's got boy parts, and she's probably, you know, the chromosomes there. I don't know if that has to do with science, but the chromosomes say she is a boy. But see, when it comes to transgenderism, it's not about science; it's about feelings. You can't have it both ways. You can't tell somebody that, oh, I don't care how you feel about vaccines. It's about the science. And then when we turn around and talk about transgender, well, it's not about the science. XY chromosomes, those don't really mean anything. That penis between your legs, oh, that's nothing. Sorry if you have kids in the car. I apologize. But can anybody explain to me why that's fair? Because Johnny feels like a girl, he's going to go play volleyball with the girls against girls. How about this? How about we start co-ed leagues? How about we just go co-ed? And both boys and girls, if they want to play against each other in the same sport, they can sign up all they want to. And that's where all the transgender kids can go play. And if boys want to play only against the boys, they can go play the boys' sports. If girls want to play only against the girls, they can play in the girls' sports. But then there in the middle, we can have this co-ed team where both boys and girls and transgenders can all get along and play in the same sport all together now. Why isn't that an option? Are you going to say, well, that's unfair, JR? The boys would have an advantage in that co-ed league. Well, duh. That's the whole point of my argument. So somebody, anybody, you're more than Cindy. I haven't heard from you in a while. Please explain to me how that's fair for now you're trying to make it fair for the transgender kid. Okay. But in the process, you're making it unfair for a whole gender of kids. But that doesn't matter. You see, and that think their way of being inclusive is leaving people out all the time. All the time. We're the party of being inclusive and equity, and we're all equal, except if if you're a staunch Republican or a conservative, then you don't belong here. What? I thought we were open to all ideas. Which one is it? Goodness gracious. Can we just admit? I'm not going to get into the argument of transgender and whether or not that should be going on and whether or not that's a sin or whether or not we should be teaching that in high school. No, that's not my argument here. I don't want to hear that. That's a whole different conversation. I'm willing to put that aside and say, fine. If Johnny wants to act like a girl, Johnny can be a girl. But what he can't do is play in girls' sports. What he can't do is go into the girls' bathroom. That's all. Anybody? Nobody? 661-842-5376, 661-842-KERN. So what came out of the meeting was doesn't change anything, really. The resolution doesn't change a thing. Doesn't change any policy in the district. It's just meant to express that the Kern High School District Board of Trustees has a collective opinion represented within the resolution. Mr. Tessinger goes on to say, myself as a trustee, I want the community to know that I don't approve of biological boys playing in girls' sports, period. And so that's a step in the right direction, I believe. It doesn't have the teeth that I'd like it to have in it. And if it's up to me, we change the entire policy. But we have to work within the framework that we're given. The Kern County Board of Education approved the same resolution back on August 12th in a unanimous vote. One trustee was absent. As the board was ready to take a vote, Mr. Manriquez, now let's be careful not to say that boys are in the junior high locker rooms because junior highs don't have lockers. Oh, but you did nothing to touch on the subject of boys in high school locker room, girls' locker rooms, did you? No, Mr. Manriquez, you did not, but thank you for showing your colors. He wanted to make sure that the school district has reviewed the resolution to avoid any litigation. Well, it's basically ceremonial, Mr. Manriquez. You can vote against it if you like. It's fine. We know you probably will. Hopefully somebody votes against you. When it was revealed that the school district did not conduct a legal review of the resolution and was not drafted by the school district, therefore unclear whether it truly applies to the current high school district, Manriquez said the board should hold off on considering the resolution until the resolution can be reviewed. To be continued, in other words. Thanks, Mr. Manriquez. Don't want to go around telling lies about boys in the junior high locker rooms because we don't have junior high locker rooms. What about them high school locker rooms, Mr. Manriquez? No mention of that. And the last time I checked, you shouldn't even be mentioning junior highs. Does junior high even fall under the current high school district board? No. They fall under the BCSD and whatever other district they're in. So worry about your high schools, Mr. Manriquez, and not junior highs, sir. Take your phone calls, text messages. If anybody wants to convince me why it's okay for boys to play in girls' sports, I'm all ears. 661-842-5376. 661-842-KERN. Your calls, your text messages. You can even jump in the chat on YouTube. Just go over to YouTube, search up Kern Radio. We are right there. And we'll be right here after the break. It's the JR Show. We'll be right back.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Coming up on the Wednesday edition of
Sergio, I love you.
Weaponized FBI on Senators. We'll talk to Senator Ron Johnson of Wisconsin about this situation. We'll also look at the latest on the Trump showdown with deployment of National Guard elements to Democrat-run cities. How's that looking? What are the judges saying? What's Trump doing? That's all coming up on Clay and Buck.
Live 9 to noon. News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Hey, folks, this is Michael Benz, noted barbecue connoisseur.
Oh, hand me that microphone. This is the real Michael Benj, noted barbecue connoisseur. That was my buddy Jeff Salters doing his best impression of me. And you'll never guess where I am. I'm sitting here eating barbecue with the man. Hey, why don't you tell us about what's going on with the catering in the banquet hall?
Thanks, bud. Yes, we have got the catering line. It is hopping. People are calling in, booking their caterings right now. And for those of you looking for a banquet hall or a facility to host your event, we got you covered. Salty's Banquet and Event Center, 6720 Chirag Court. So just give us a call at 661-563-2739, 661-563-2739.
Salty's Barbecue and Catering, 9425 Rosedale Highway and 6801 White Lane.
Hey, folks, you know the line. Say it with me. California grilled,
Texas approved.
Attention! Medicare beneficiaries here in Kern County. If you are eligible for Medicare and looking for a doctor who listens and cares about you with minimal wait times and prompt referral authorizations, it's time you learned about QualCare IPA. QualCare IPA contracts with most Medicare Advantage health plans and provides you with access to a large network of outstanding doctors and quality hospitals right here in Kern County. Medicare Advantage health plans go beyond original Medicare benefits coverage, and understanding these coverage differences may be confusing. Call us today at 661-554-4544. Let us help you understand your healthcare options for 2025. Call today, 661-554-4544. That's 661-554-4544. Get the information you need and the coverage you deserve. For accommodations of persons with special needs at meetings, call 661-554-4544, TTY 711.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
Hey, listen to this. All I needed was a new starter. Got a great deal on eBay. Did it myself.
Yeah, that's cool. But how about the soft purr of an upgraded exhaust?
That was very sweet.
Just right.
Yeah, for me, it's the little things. Like there's no way.
That's ridiculous, but it's very sweet.
From small fixes to big upgrades, eBay has all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
The Charlie Kirk Show, weekdays at 6 p.m. on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. Now, back to the JR Show.
When I was young.
Welcome back. It's the JR Show. It's Current Radio. Check us out online, currentradio.com. Also on the Current Radio app and on YouTube. Just go to YouTube, search up Current Radio. You can find us right there on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and X. I'll just search up Current Radio. I'm also out there. JR Flores, or why not JR? 661-842-5376. Anything on the text thread, sir?
Yes.
What you got?
Greenfield Junior High School has boys and girls locker rooms, and I know that for a fact because I went there in 68 and 69.
Well,
They still have them.
It's been a while, but South High has lockers, and when I was there in '98, they didn't allow us to use them because, well, the classes before that like to hide their paraphernalia in there, and they took them all away from us. I, on the other hand, still had a locker because my sister went there and she had a locker when she was there, and then there was a handful of us that had lockers because our older siblings passed them down to us, and that was the only way that we actually had them. So that was quite a bit ago. But even if Greenfield does, again, it doesn't fall under the Kern High School District jurisdiction. That's a whole separate board, a whole separate body. It has no business even talking about junior high. He should stick to high school. Period. He was just trying to get somebody to shout out like they did, so he could seem like he was smart by saying, "Because we don't have lockers in junior high." Well, good for you, Mr. Manriquez. But we're speaking about high school right now. Can we at least stick to the facts, please? Goodness gracious! What else you got in there?
I got a call for you real quick.
Oh, a caller. Who do you got?
I got Bob on the line.
Bob, you're on the JR Show. How are you doing, sir?
Hey, hi, JR. Yeah, I'm not sticking to the facts, unfortunately.
Okay.
About 2 weeks ago, you had a gal, a guest on your show, and I've just heard the word free mentioned so many times that it kind of drives me a little bit up a wall.
Mm-hmm.
Just for the fact that, it should be, instead of saying free, maybe we should say donated by the good citizens of such and such, or donated by the taxpayers of so and so. Because nothing is free, obviously, right?
Right.
Do we agree on that?
My time is sometimes free, but other than that, yeah, most things cost something.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was getting at. When you offer when anybody comes in and says, yeah, you can come to my so and so for free. No, you're not actually getting in there for free. You're getting in there because somebody has donated their time and donated their
Or somebody has possibly covered the cost. Yeah.
exactly yeah.
Right.
And I just think we throw that word free around a little bit too freely.
Well, and I think it would also give credit to those that do donate that do give their time or do give the resources to be able to make those things happen. Sometimes that's anonymous and they don't want the recognition, and that's fine. But we could still say, yeah, these are donated proceeds by anonymous donor.
Yes, I mean, I think that would be a better way to go about it than understanding that people think things are free when they really actually are not. And that was my only beef. But I love your show.
Oh, thanks, Bob. Appreciate that, man. Feel free to call in anytime, sir. Appreciate you for reaching out.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. 661-842-5376. Anything on the text messages before I jump in the YouTube chat?
I've got one more here.
What else?
JR,
Yeah.
we do have lockers in junior high. It's not allowed to use them, especially at Stone Creek Junior High School.
Right. No, like I said, a lot of places do have them. They just don't allow students to use them anymore.
Why?
Paraphernalia, hiding things.
I get why you don't let them use them anymore.
Right. Why had them in the first place? Because at one time we could trust kids, I guess, and now, well,
if you can't trust them anymore and they can't use them, you might as well remove
just
them.
take them all out. Take them all out. 661-842-KERN. If you want to jump into the YouTube chat, go over to YouTube, search up Kern Radio. Somebody wants to know who hurt me, Chris. I don't know what they mean by that. I don't know where
celebrating Tony Braxton.
Where they got that impression if somebody hurt me just because I hear Tony Braxton and Breathe Again and the Goo Goo Dolls, Iris, and I get sad. Doesn't mean somebody hurt me. I'm just, I'm sensitive. That's all. I'm sensitive. I would have liked to have heard the arguments against Title IX. Me too, except there were none. That's the problem, is nobody spoke up in the opposition. Everybody was there. There 10 or so people all had the same argument. No, we shouldn't allow boys to play in girls sports. Not one, just like I put out a call like, hey, if you want to try to convince me, you're more than welcome to. Not one showed up. Not one. Because you can't. You cannot justify it. I have not heard one good argument for it. Not one. And I'm willing to listen. That's not the case. I will listen to anything. But nobody's willing to do it. In the school and the transgender student parents going to pay for injury to a student that is caused by the transgender student. Somebody's going to be held liable if somebody gets hurt. I'm not sure if you sign waivers or whatnot. Say you can't sue the school if you get hurt participating in sports. Feelings are facts now. Oh boy, that's my favorite one right there. You've heard me say it all the time. Your feelings don't care about my facts. That happens all the time. Your feelings don't care about the facts. But nowadays they do. Of course, depending on what subject we are speaking about. Because sometimes we have to follow the science, like with vaccines and medicines and all that stuff. And sometimes, well, science be darned. We're going to worry about how that kid feels. Screw the science. Whew. Amen. Fins up. I see you, Steven. I see you, buddy. Love you, man. Can't wait for Woolworths to open. Kids have camera phones in locker rooms. Yes, they do. Kids don't need lockers anymore now that schools went digital. Maybe.
That's that's a good reason.
I think he would know. He's part of the Kern High School District. Sorry, I don't mean to out you. I got to get out of here, make room for the Ralph Bailey Show. It's a Tuesday, so former magistrate judge and Kern County Council Teresa Goldner will stop by. Tomorrow, we have Dr. Ravi Patel from the CBCC to tell you about an event for breast cancer awareness. Stay tuned for that. This was the JR Show. Lily, Dad loves you.
This is AM 1180 KERN. Green Acres. This is 96.1 FM.
Now they have, boys. Let's go Dodgers. Let's go Dodgers. Thanks, Jim. Always love it. where was the transgender parents to speak up for their students if it's that important? Amen, Mary. Where were those parents at? I guess they didn't want to show up after all. Hey, I want to thank you guys for hanging out today. I'll be back tomorrow. Stay tuned for the Ralph Bailey Show. If you can't find good in the world, be that good. All right, you guys. Love you.